little it needs a little. I don't know. It might have been the stuffed peppers I ate last night. They were very good, but something set it off. Might have had too many little sweet snacks after. But yeah, I'm just grabbing something real quick here.
Oh, what you grabbing?
So getting the gingy, the gingy.
Oh, the ginger ale.
I got the gingy ale. Yeah, I should be all right. I mean, we'll probably yap here for a little while.
All right.
I
Well,
don't imagine it'll be hours or anything. I mean, we've just
well, I certainly
let me
have
see
known you to yap at me
here.
for many hours at a time.
This is true.
Okay,
This is
so
true.
I'm recording.
I do have a lot of excellent. Love that.
A lot of excellent things to say.
Love that. I feel like. Oh, what are you playing, by the way? I gotta come over here and check you out. Are you? Oh, you're playing Death
Well,
Stranding. Oh,
I
nice.
was, yeah, I am playing. I have just begun Death Stranding.
Oh, nice.
For
That is fucking awesome.
probably the fourth or fifth time. I believe the fifth, and I'm anticipating that Death Stranding 2 might be on PC this year, basically because it took about a year for Death Stranding to come to PC, and I'm just hoping that there's a pattern there.
Man, I saw something. I think a few days back, and it looked like somebody was digging around the internet and it may have. You never know
You never know, but
how
I
to take
mean,
these things. Yeah.
yeah.
But there was suspicions of it being like rated or um somebody came across something that was like, oh, this might be heading to PC very soon. This
That's
might
what
be
I'm
Death
saying.
Stranding 2.
I feel
So
like,
you might be right.
this is not, not like there's a huge Kojima Productions body of product that we could look at and say this is probably the pattern, but I mean, I'm, hoping that it is. So,
Yeah.
Budu, welcome to
Yes.
Maybe We Will Fire and Blood, a podcast that is sort of ostensibly about Game of Thrones, but is more, at this point, just about a low quality production that I don't feel like editing and is just a straight recording of me talking to one of my friends about whatever the hell we're talking about. And I don't know if you're thinking about joining us for Game of Thrones later, but we're going to record something like this after that as well.
Yes, I heard.
But you like video games a
I
lot.
listened. I love. That's an understatement. A lot. I may be obsessed. I may have a problem.
Yeah, Death Stranding is on my boy. I don't even maybe I should I'm very a little bit scattered. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things I want to say to you and ask you about, but Death Stranding certainly is a place to start because that's on my it's I almost feel like
It's a good place to go.
I've been saying that, man, I am that can be taken in many ways and I agree with all of them. But I do feel like that is an underlying requirement for something being a good game, that it is in itself a good place to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Death Stranding. There's so many. There's so many things about that game, and it is one of a kind, in my opinion. It's always been It always stood out. It's definitely one of my favorite games that I played of all time. I do like one more than two, but two is very
Oh,
refined. It's a very.
okay.
I
Well,
do,
you know what?
yeah. I just
I
feel like the time and place, yeah. Well, we can't
yeah.
talk too much about two because you haven't played it yet, but like,
Okay.
um, but when you do, we should. But I do feel a little bit more like the impact of one and its story, and its initial, the time and place
It was
when
a
it
very special
happened.
time and place.
It was incredible, and I think Death Stranding 2 is a great video game in its in its design, and it's
Yeah, I almost
it's just it's so refined
that's what I
and
expect.
beautiful.
I expect it to be like real fine, real refined, really systemic, really like well
It is.
designed delivery, like crunchy mechanics, like interactive game. You know, like just really
It,
polished delivery systems, the way that Kojima designs just systems. You know,
yeah, he
if
has a
that, I mean,
thing
I don't know
for
if that I
usually
was
like
even saying anything. Sorry.
no, I think that's yeah, you're right. No, all the mechanics, all the systems, all of the everything is just so like refined and curated by his standard, which is like, he just sharpens the blade, more as he goes along with games. And this was, I think, he made it more of a video game. And I'm not saying that Death Stranding isn't a video game at all, but it's just that it's more of a
I
mysterious
don't know if it
adventure.
is. Yeah, I mean I mean it clearly is, but it's one of the things. If there's a Venn diagram of where like in the center there's like what Pong, and then outwards things that are less like along the way outside would be like a choose your own adventure novel being described as a video game. Like Death
Yeah,
Stranding is way far away from being a video game. While still being a video game.
it certainly lands on it, but is in its own like stratosphere of a video game, I guess. Yeah. It and that's where I think too, it's like he tried to make it a bit more video gamey, but it's still wacky and awesome and a journey and adventure. It's so beautiful.
Man.
I loved it. I just, like I said, it's just
Yeah.
that one resonated with me. It was very powerful at the time of our lives, and it was something so different. Yeah, it's just there's
Dude,
so much depth.
I I can't believe what I'm about to say, but like fucking 5 years ago, I was like, all right, yeah, this is important. Let's rebuild America. I'm glad there's a video game about rebuilding America. And fucking now look at us.
Yeah, it it was so timely, and
And
now
now
you look back
we're
at it, you're like, dude, this fucking game is like he knew. It's like again, it's weird how he has a gift to
it's
create
in
things that
dude.
predict. Yeah.
You know the
Predict the
line
future.
if I said do you know the line from Metal Gear Solid 2? Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't know, there's many lines,
Yeah,
but
it's the one that's like
many lines.
billions of gigabytes of junk data, like, causing mass, fucking clogging up the
Yes.
internet forever, like of occupying the attention of every, waking god, just the absolute prediction of
Yes.
fucking Twitter and TikTok and just the future in like what fucking 2000 even
2000,
2001.
2001. And one. Yeah, I think
Good
yeah.
God, Metal Gear Solid 2 is so good.
It is. I should play 2 again. I think 2 is, what's crazy is I think 2 is the one that I probably played the least. And I've
Yeah,
played those games all many times.
it's clunk.
But
It's a clunker.
I would say it's probably
It's
between 2 and 4, and 4 is not by fucking choice. It's
dude,
because
you can't
there is
play
no
it
way to play
because you
4,
can't
and it
because
makes
you
me very sad.
can't.
It destroys me, dude. I think about that
Excuse
all the
me.
time. I think about how
Um,
I cannot play MGS4 Guns of the Patriots because I would all the time because I loved that game.
you
And it
don't
was
have a
like
you don't have a PS3?
I don't have a PS3. Yeah, I had one a long time ago. That's a story. It didn't make it back from Chicago when I was living there in those years.
I got
It
one.
didn't make it back.
I
I had
could I
to
could play it. I would I There's probably other
I would
stuff that I could only play on the PS3 that I would want to bring it out for. I can't believe that game is forever trapped on the PS3.
it's
The PS3 was like the
can't believe it's
weirdest
condemned.
time of like garbage, of like shovelware garbage. And that's the era that PS4 is trapped in.
The
Not the PS4,
PS3
Metal Gear Solid 4 is what I meant to
the
say.
PS3 yeah is such an interesting era for PlayStation in general because it was like its worst. It was just such a dud of a console because it tried to do a lot of things with its technology that Did not work for developers.
We're,
Oh,
yeah.
we have a baby Cthulhu appearance.
Is
It did
that
not work.
is that when they had the lollipops, the Wii motion? Was that the PS3 or was that for?
Lollipops was PS4
Oh,
for
okay,
dual.
okay.
What were they called? What the fuck were those ones called? Yeah,
Motion,
eh,
PS Motion, something.
PS3 kind of just it was more of that the development architecture was with
Yeah,
the cell
yeah.
processor was kind of a dud.
I've heard
And
this that it's
so
hard to program for, that things on it are trapped on it basically because they were developed specifically for that architecture. Something like that.
yeah, so like multi-platform developers are it was during that whole era, it just turned into a mess. A lot of these games, like even just like Assassin's Creeds, they would come out and they would just be horrible on the PS3 version, but
Yeah.
good on Xbox 360 or whatever whatever else was out at the time. It was so a lot of people believe that MGS4 is trapped because of the ass cell processor that it was produced on. Even though the game was a miracle and a marvel of that technology, it actually, that's probably the most impressive game that came out on PS3, or one of them.
One
I
of the
mean, I guess you
first
could say
ones,
Last of
right? Or
Us.
am
You
I
could say
incorrect about
this
that?
is
Was that
yeah.
like basically a launch title for the PS4 or no? Or I'm incorrect
No,
thinking about that? Oh, okay. It came
no,
out.
it came later. Yeah, I think he had been working on it for quite some time because of the development struggles, but he also had a lot of support probably from Sony as well. I think same thing. I think it came out later in its life cycle, kind of like how Last of Us was like one of the final games I think to come out on PS3. I might like one of the big major final games. Not counting like sports games and shit that they made for like years
Okay.
after, I'm sure. But
And
yeah,
that makes sense too.
okay, what was PS3 was I think MGS4 was what, 2005? So,
I mean,
may
2005 would have been very early in the PS3's.
then yeah, maybe it was uh,
Fairly
maybe.
early. I feel like the PS3 would have been around 2004. I
Oh, okay.
suppose we could
MGS3 was
look up any of these things,
2008.
but that's kind
Yeah,
of the point of this podcast is that I'm not going
yeah.
to. I'm being notified for some bullshit.
2 years, 2 years after the launch of the PS3. So actually, not too bad. Not that's actually midway through the cycle. I guess he had been probably working on it earlier than PS3 in the early stages of a PS3 before it came out, because that game had to have taken years and years for him to make prior to the launch of PS3. He was probably working on it, but yeah. Um, what I understand though, that there may be hope for MGS4 to be free to us again, through one of these master collections, the next volume of that. That Metal Gear Solid Master Collection that they put out a couple of years back, and it had
um, the
oh, did you see that? Did you
like a
catch that?
couple years back, like that had Peace Walker in it, like Peace Walker 3 and 2. That's the collection, or no? Because that's
I
like
believe it.
by a couple you mean 7 years.
Oh God. Really? It was like
If it's
one,
those
two, and
three games,
three.
yeah. Oh, one,
It was
two, and
like
three.
or was it 1, 2, and
I have a
Peace
collection that's
Walker?
3, and Peace Walker is the collection that I have.
I have the Xbox 360 version of that on my
Yes, that's the
on
one
a
Xbox
disc.
360, 2, 3, and Peace.
No, this was definitely 2023. So
Oh,
it was a
okay.
couple years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
October 20.
Okay. Okay.
It was 1, 2, and 3
Oh.
with VR missions. Uh
Oh.
and it also had original Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge on it, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, yep. It had the MX2 version, MSX2 versions of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, which is a very hard one to find unless you can emulate it. But
Oh.
this was a
Yeah, like what
master
was that?
collection,
What that
volume
was
one.
some Japanese PC system? The original
Yes, the
Metal Gears?
MSX2.
The
Yeah, it was like a piece. It
MSX2.
was like a Japanese PC. Yeah, like yes, very much so. and that's where the original Metal Gear and the sequel to the original Metal Gear came out on, but I don't think it ever got properly released in the States. We got that Snake's Revenge game as a sequel,
Right. Which is
which was
totally
like,
has nothing to do with Kojima.
yeah, I think it was done by some other company.
What's it like? I don't think I've ever even looked at it. I don't think I've ever even seen it because
I
people are like, it's not a real
time.
Metal Gear game, so I have never even like looked at it.
That's probably one as a huge Metal Gear fan that I have not spent very much time on in myself.
Sure.
I remember playing it when I was younger.
Sure, yeah,
I was at a friend's house who had it. It is basically using Snake, but just in its own. Yeah, it's an actiony game. And I remember it being like more straightforward, platformy, actiony with a little bit of sneaking stuff. It wasn't really. It was more like a spin-off, and it wasn't very good, if I'm remembering correctly. But I would love to explore that sometime now that we're talking about it, because it's something that just I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about last night. This is kind of not getting off track here, but
there's no
probably
track.
Going to happen the whole fucking
which
is probably the whole point.
Yeah. Dude, just what? There's no track. There's no track.
This is how we roll.
Yeah.
This is just shit.
Yo, we could if we started doing this on a weekly basis, this could be called What's Good.
What's good?
And this is because that's what we are. That's what's being discussed right now, and that's what we're going to continue to discuss. All of my little notes and things I'm going to ask you about are going to be about what is good about these following things. But please, if you were about to go somewhere off of a rail, I hope I haven't derailed you completely.
It was more, and I mean, I don't think Snake's Revenge might necessarily fall into the category, but it might be something interesting to explore. I was thinking about playing.
People straight up tell you not to play it. It's one of those.
Yeah. And so that almost makes me want to play it more.
Right? So, yeah.
Because I'm a weirdo who thrives on, if you tell me a game I should not play this, I'm like, oh, well, I probably should then. I don't know if I have it anywhere on a collection. I don't know but it is on that master collection. I did not buy it because I was mad because MGS4 was not on it, but there's supposed to be a volume 2.
I'm positive I got a copy down in the basement. You know what that means?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I would love it if it was.
Is that a term? Do you remember when I was telling you that I played Zelda with uncultured people? They would say I have a copy of it in the basement, and it meant a very specific thing. Is that a real term, or did like the 20 people that I knew that were speedrunners invent that? Have you ever heard that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you know what I mean. It's kind of like a phrase. Like, I got a copy of that in the base. You know what I mean?
No, it means a specific thing.
Yeah.
It means that I have a ROM of it and I don't want to talk about it live like this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
It means just like, hey, I got that, available.
Yeah. Okay.
I can pull that down.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. No.
But is that a thing people say?
I feel like I haven't heard that in a long time.
Okay.
But it's nice to hear that again. I usually say, gonna take a trip on sail of the 7 seas,
okay,
like that. I think everyone has their own way of saying that.
Yeah, I say I'm going to acquire it through perfectly legal means.
That's also another way. I mean, that is one way I've considered trying to play MGS4 recently. Because I know that can be done.
Yeah, weren't we just talking about something like that the other night? Yeah, possibly
emulators
emulating that kind of stuff. Yeah, it could be done. I don't know. I've never even emulated a PS2. I would
just love if they, just released and I'd be happy to pay for it, repackaged, polished version of it that's upscaled and ready to play on a modern console or PC. And I can't imagine them not doing that game for this volume 2 that is not necessarily 100% confirmed by them, but has been like, we're doing it. Where there's we called this one volume 1 for a reason. There is a volume 2 in the making. We just have not seen much games there.
Yeah.
So I'm anticipating maybe this year sometime they will announce that collection, and maybe that one will feature Peace Walker and possibly the Acid games, and
Oh,
it'll be a collection, I think, of MGS4. I don't know if they would necessarily need to put 5 into it. I don't know if that would be like, I don't know. I feel like it's more of the other weird and other off games that. What was the other one on PSP? Not Peace Walker.
and not Acid
God, not Acid. There was another one.
on PSP.
Yeah, was it PSP or was it Vita? There's another portable ops. Portable ops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they
I
might
did
put
not play
together a
that very
collection of like,
much,
yeah, portable ops was so Death Stranding 2
but
reminds me
that's
a
in the
lot of the
family.
jump. Yeah, it's in the family. Death Stranding 2 reminds me, and just back to more of his stuff, since I mean this is such a us topic to start this out with, is talking about Kojima and these games. But Death Stranding 2 is very much reminds me of the jump from like what Portable Ops to Peace Walker to what MGS5 ended up being. Where it was like MGS5 was like a
Okay,
most
yeah.
refined, upgraded situation of like Peace Walker.
I'm probably gonna
It's
play
like,
that soon. I think I'm
yeah,
gonna.
Peace Walker.
No, 5.
Oh, 5. Yeah, 5 is. I honestly, I have a lot of feelings about 5. I love and hate that game. I don't think it's necessarily his fault that I hate the game. It's more that it's just we never got the full. They cut him off before
Yeah.
the game could be truly completed, and it's not. It doesn't have it. It's almost like it's not finished. It's slightly unfinished. It's just that there's something missing that was supposed to come along with that, and even still there was rumors that stuff was hidden in there, and it still wasn't. It still didn't wrap it the way that I think it should have, and that we also. I don't know how you feel about Kiefer. Did a good job, but it's still
Was
weird
that
to me
like
that
a
it's.
was that a Konami choice? Was Konami like we're doing all our games to have famous bros? You gotta.
I feel like it. I don't remember the exact reasoning, but I think that there may have been. I know that David Hayter just didn't get a call.
Yeah,
Like
not
he
at
has gone on
all.
record just saying
Okay.
like they never called me for this, and it was just like that's weird. But I know that during that time, obviously between Konami and Hideo, there was
A bunch of
significant
shit.
turmoil.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
significant turmoil. Yeah.
and that basically resulted in the game being a very good game, but having to have it just be put out. I think they just didn't want to give him any more money to do it anymore. They're just like, we give you so much money, you got to finish the fucking game, dude. And then, certain things just didn't get put in that he had wanted to do towards the end, so it kind of got clipped at the end. But
Yeah,
very good
yeah.
game, very very cool game. I think I need to revisit that because I don't. I think
It might be
you
a
know
good
what
idea. I think, yeah, I think
that
it might be a good idea.
now I am thinking about it. That is probably the one I've played the least. That is
Oh,
probably the one I've
okay.
played
I bet it's the one
more.
I've played the most. I played a ton of. I played the shit out of that.
You probably know which one I've played the most. It's 3.
Probably, I think it's probably
Yeah,
1.
1.
Yeah.
No, it's 3.
Oh,
It's
it's
definitely
actually,
3.
yeah. I guess you have. Yeah, I
It's
guess that
definitely
makes a lot of
Snake
sense.
Eater.
Okay. Yeah.
I am such
Yeah.
a Snake Eater, homer. But I love all the games. I would say it'd be close between 1 and 3. Probably because you probably recall we would do crazy amounts of 1 and 3
I
runs
recall. Yeah, I
back
recall
then.
both
Yeah.
of those happening a lot, but definitely
Mm.
like, yeah. I
Many,
guess.
many 3 and 1 runs back in the day. But I played a lot of 2 as well, but probably not as much as the other ones. So I could definitely use a 2 run again. And I am currently I have not actually completed the remake of 3 that I have. I've had it for a while now, and I've been
Is
meaning
that
to
on
get
PC?
around to play. The Delta?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh, okay, okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. I guess I got to
it's
do
out
that.
there.
I guess I probably owe the universe that, or
Oh
Kojima
yeah,
or whoever. I
and
guess
I
I
tell
probably
you,
should do
man,
that.
I think it's funny because he's been asked about it, recently, and he's been not nice, but not also. Uh, he's been in. It's almost like he's like I don't really want to comment
Yeah, not like
But
mean.
not mean, yeah,
not,
not angry or mean like you would expect him to
not
be
bitter
offended,
about it. Yeah.
but he's just like, yeah, it's a thing, and I think he's just a little upset that he obviously it's his stuff and he can't be involved in it, and that's not to say though, like it is a excellent, it's not to hate on it at all. It's an incredible, well made, in uh, remake of it. It is fantastic. Like it is so faithful. So it's not like they butchered it or anything and they did anything
Yeah.
wrong. But
Yeah.
I think he just has mixed feelings on it and
As
has just been
sometimes
like,
occurs
yeah,
with a remake.
yeah, it's really good though, dude. It's totally worth. I mean, it's a little pricey, but when you see the production and you see what they did, you're like, yeah, these people who made this, they really loved this game and they put a lot of heart and soul into making sure that it was preserved correctly, but also just updated, upgraded in a way that is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Um, and
That's the one I've
I,
played the least. 3.
God damn, that's my
Yeah.
fucking jam.
You
I know
really,
that I know that game too well. I think at
I've
times
not
it's just
finished it.
um yeah, and then 4. When 4 was out, I played a lot of fucking 4. I played it over and over and over again too. But then ever since then, ever since I didn't have a PS3, I tried to play it during the time when they had it in the PlayStation
You know,
Cloud, and it was a disaster.
what's up,
And that
T1BG?
was,
And yes, for real. My friend
you know,
T1BG says, imagine being anywhere ever. Just the horrors persist, and so do I, as they say.
yeah, imagine being anywhere. Yes, I see the chat here. Um, but yeah, I mean,
Is there a Zelda
I don't know.
game that I've been waiting that I wish they would re-release, much like I wish they would re-release 4? I don't like, I mean, if I had a list of games I wish they would re-release or remaster, I don't know, but
I
4.
would love. Wait, what do you think? 4?
Well, I'm just saying Metal Gear Solid 4 is just like it's like it's a known quantity that like it's never been re-released. People would love it to be. Like
So sad.
not even remade or remastered, but just fucking released on
Yeah,
anything
just give me a
other than the
port,
PS3.
dude.
Yeah, just
I don't care.
never
I'll pay.
ported. Like notorious. Like this is a notorious game for that. And I guess there is not a Zelda one that is exactly like that. I've just been thinking I wish they would put Wind Waker on the Switch, and maybe they have. But
Oh, dude, there
I don't
has
know.
to be
I
ways
feel
to
like
do it.
I don't know. I feel like there
You
was a
know
game that I
what?
was like, I wish they would remake a Zelda game, but I guess maybe I have. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know what I was thinking about.
I would love. Did they do? And then maybe I missed this, but did they do a Link to the Past in the form of how they remade Link's Awakening?
No, but that
And
would fucking blow my dick off. What I do wish,
yeah,
maybe what I was saying is that I wish they would put a Link Between Worlds on the goddamn Switch along with Samus
Link
Returns.
Between Worlds is very good.
Yeah, I wish I could
like
play
that
it on
game
a
a
fucking
lot.
television.
Yeah, that one is kind of that one is not available in any format other than on its native
Yeah,
platform, isn't it? That's one that is not. Huh. I
I
never thought. I
can't.
think I have a copy of that in the 3DS upstairs, but maybe we did trade in the 3DS. I don't remember.
Yeah, I just can't imagine ever buying a 3DS. The last time I checked, they were only going up in price. It would be the only game I would want to play on it.
I might
And I
still have
never
them.
liked looking at those things. The screens, no matter what, always bugged me out if they were turned to 3D
Yeah,
or not.
I also was very turned off
Was
by
it
the
some kind of
3DS, except
lenticular? Was it a lenticular thing happening? Like grooves that your eyes. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I mean by lenticular? Like parts of the screen are actually angled towards one to the left or the right, like it's actually splitting. The screen is actually projecting two images, one to the left, one to the right, kind of, or does
oh, you're
that
talking
not?
about using the 3D
I'm talking
aspect
about
of
the
it?
3DS and the way the screen, how it was weird to fucking look at. Like it really, like I did. Oh my god!
I
Looking
hated
back
this.
on
I
it,
always had.
fucking hated
always,
it.
excuse
Put it on
by
the
the way, if you
goddamn
guys,
Switch.
you, yes, yes, please. You know, it's funny that
That's the
hasn't
one.
like
That's what I was
shown.
thinking of.
They haven't done. Please, also don't mind the background noise. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I'm professional.
puppies.
They are being fed right now, and it's good because Niffy is excitedly asking for her food. So, but she speaks a lot when feeding time is happening, when the preparations are being done. So please don't mind our wonderful dogs out here. But dude, you know, NSO does not have DS yet, does it? Like it doesn't. They don't have that on the NSO, the Switch Online, correct?
You
They
know what?
they
To
have
my knowledge, they
Game
do not,
Boy.
because on when they launched this, the last I heard, when they launched the Switch 2, which was maybe close to a year ago now, they put GameCube games on NSO, which
Okay,
had
that
Wind
was
Waker, but it was the original Wind Waker. You know, which was good.
yes.
It's not. I mean, the remake was just was really banging in my opinion, but I mean, they were both good
But they put Wind Waker on there, didn't they?
on NSO.
On the
Yeah, a
yeah, on the
GameCube
GameCube.
NSO. Yep.
That is, you know, that is a thing with Nintendo these days. They just would rather get you to buy, you know, they hold these games hostage, I feel like sometimes, and they use them to you know, obviously how they feel about piracy things, you know, they have very strong feelings about that. But it seems like they don't like to put a lot of these games out unless they're on the NSO thing now, you know, a lot of these older titles that are popular, that people want. You know, they're not giving us a way to own them. We have to
Yep.
rent them, basically.
Yeah, forever, and that's what it's, you know, that's what it's going to
And
be like.
yeah, I kind of hate that. I
Boy,
wish they would move on from that.
wouldn't it be great if like everything stopped being shitty? It's like everywhere you look, there's some terrible new system of renting something forever for a fee every month, forever for everything, and
Yep.
and if it's not that, then it's something even worse systemically going on, causing problems for everybody. And it would just be great if everyone could stop doing awful shit to me specifically,
Yeah,
but to your fellow man.
yeah, I enjoy some of the services to an extent, but other times, you know, games are so expensive now, they're so pricey now too. It can be, there can be value if you're playing enough shit that, you know, it's worth it. But stuff that is like older games, you know, 20-year-old games and shit, or whatever, you know, it's like, man, just
Just let us
why do
have
we
them. Just
yes, let's have
put them in a library. Just like you can go,
yeah.
just like if I don't want to fucking buy a copy of goddamn Moby Dick, I know that I have a right as an American citizen to go down to the fucking library and sit there and read a copy of Moby Dick. I should be able to go down there and play Metal Gear Solid 4. And also, I should be able to play A Link Between Worlds on a goddamn television like Jesus intended.
Yeah, and you know they can take those games and make them
And there should be a
into
public restroom.
yeah, yeah, public archive, man.
Yeah.
You know, like come on, give us the put them
I'm
on.
having fun, but seriously, I mean, that shit should just be free. You should just. Like,
I think after a certain point, yeah, it should
yeah,
become public domain.
come
Like
on.
you know what I mean?
There
It's
wouldn't even
just
there would you wouldn't even have to. They wouldn't even have to do any work. The companies involved. They would just have
it
to
would.
say, "Go ahead." They would just have to. They wouldn't even have to say release them. They would just have to say, "We're not going to prosecute," and people would just fucking do this, and you could just play all of these games tomorrow. If
Yeah,
Nintendo
I
said, "Go
mean,
ahead and play these games," we'd be playing them tomorrow.
they miss out on so many
People would do
opportunities
it.
too, because
Yeah,
they could just put the games out at a decent price instead of having to gate it behind a subscription service. Like people still
probably. Yeah.
buy the games. But I do agree with you. I think at some point they should just say, "Hey y'all, have it." Nintendo will never do that. I know
No,
that
no one
like
will.
you know they're
Ever the
yeah.
whole.
You have to just go freeware, you know, and that's that. You know, you have to decide, oh, this is just freeware now. But that doesn't happen very often, no one, and
Everything is just
everyone
structured so that everyone owns everything and everyone wants a nickel from everyone else, and we could all just stop.
exactly.
We could all just stop all of that exchange of nickels and just like we'd all be the same most of the time.
Well, as soon as they hear
I
us say
have no
anything-
idea what I'm saying. I just feel like there's a lot of shit going on that isn't working that well.
Bro, as soon as they hear us say we're interested in something and playing a game again, they're like, "Oh, what? Money's
Yeah.
not up. What? Can we get a nickel for that? Can we figure out a way to do that?" It's never just like, let's give them the game. Let's let them have this, this fucking old game that everyone's been asking for. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna make everyone wait years, and then we'll finally sell it in a package, which is like, again, I'm willing to pay for the fucking Metal Gear Solid package to get MGS4 on whatever Xbox or PlayStation, modern day, but like, hurry up, like, let's go. People have been asking for this shit for fucking way too long, and I would love, and they can easily put together something like a Link Between Worlds on a Switch 2 or something, they could easily, I know that even though it's dual screen,
I know that they could have put it on the Switch 1. The Switch is like, I guess the Switch doesn't really naturally dual screen. I guess that's the problem. Like you never really, you can't have the Switch on your TV and also be looking at it. No, it's a one screen system. Is there it has an interactivity with a DS. I guess you know what? Part of it was
converted though, right?
Man, was the Wii relevant when A Link Between Worlds came out? I might have been really like,
question.
Put Link Between Worlds on the Wii U. Because Wii U there were DS games on the store for the Wii U. And because of the dual screened nature of the Wii U, it fucking worked awesome. But they didn't put Link Between Worlds on it. But they could fucking figure out how to put it on the Switch, I believe. I don't fucking know. Obviously that would be someone's whole job it would be a porting, but
it's not impossible, and I was thinking about this. I'm like, I know there's been at least a few games that have been translated or ported or like whatever rebrought over from a DS to a Switch. I know that Ace Attorney, whatever, Phoenix Wright.
Oh, yeah, the guy that points at people.
The Phoenix Wright collections were converted over to modern consoles. I think that's even on Xbox and PlayStation now too. Looks like Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent were. Resident Evil Revelations was also another one. It's not impossible. They could do that. I don't know. It hasn't been a large list of these games that have made.
I played one of those Mega Man games. Dude, they made 1 million Mega Man games. Did you play all of them?
Yeah. Yes.
You played those DS ones? Advent and ZX, and were there like 13 others?
Were you thinking of like maybe Battle Network?
I guess Battle Network is probably the one that there's like really actually 13 of. But I mean, I feel like
I probably played 4 or 5 of the Battle Networks, and then I gave up. I was like, I'm done. It's just too many of them.
Yeah.
I have played pretty much every one of these side-scrolling platform. It's traditional style Mega Man ones, like the Zeros 1 through 3. All
Can you just
good games.
Okay, so there was Mega Man 1 through 7, 8. Mega Man 1 through 8.
Well,
10.
Now we're
Mega Man 1 through 10.
Oh yes.
Well, actually,
yes,
I meant to start asking you just what the series are called. So Mega Man, Mega Man X, Mega Man Z, or Mega Man 0.
Mega Man 0. Yep.
And then Mega Man, and the ones you just said, Advent,
Battle
which were
Network?
XZ.
Oh, ZX.
Well, let's talk about the side scrollers.
And X.
All right, X0, ZX.
So ZX was like a collection.
Oh,
it was basically a collection of the Z. Niffy has some words to say about that. The ZXs were, or was ZX its own?
The one I played certainly felt like its own adventure with its own characters and its own boss fights.
Yes.
ZX Advent is the one that I played.
ZX Advent.
It felt like the next series after 0.
Yes, that's correct.
And then and that was on the DS, and then I don't know if there's another series other than Battle Network?
I think that's it, right? We got Standard Mega Man, X, Z, ZX, Battle Network,
I think there were
and then
10 Mega Mans, maybe 11.
and then there's 11 now. Yeah, there's
Jesus
11 now.
Christ. I
Yep.
never even played 11.
And yeah, 11 was
They did it kind of
2018, I think.
that sounds right.
It was a while ago now, and it's been long enough where people have been, asking for more Mega Man. As myself, like, come on, just give us a new one. They finally have announced a new one. Coming this year, maybe it's called Dual Overdrive or something.
Oh.
Dual Override.
And is that it's a game called Mega Man Dual Override.
Yes,
And
it is traditional Mega Man.
Is it a new story? Is it a new series with a new Mega Man?
It is basically Mega Man 12.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it is.
It's continuing the
Mega
Man. It's continuing the Rockman series.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't know much about what its story is yet. There has been hints of Proto Man in the trailer, so it does seem like we're going, back to that timeline, to that storyline, and traditional, for OG Mega Man, Proto Man. I think there's going to be some kind of swap mechanic, maybe, and maybe that's why it's called Dual Override, because you were going to be playing as both of them.
Oh, both the dudes. Where's
Perhaps.
Roll? Where's Roll at?
Perhaps. There was it was a teaser. It was a revealed teaser at the Game Awards, and that was probably one of the most exciting things for me that night was finally getting. I said it, joked in jest earlier that night. I'm like, can we just get my Mega Man finally? Can we just announce Mega Man? And then it came up, and I'm like, oh my god, it actually happened. Usually I just say shit, being like, oh, I hope. I'm just throwing it out into the wind there. I'm just, maybe it'll happen.
It's fun when
And
it
then
does.
it did, and I was like, oh my god, I got what I want. I got it. I think there's two other games too. I had kind of been like, I really hope I get these tonight, and they happened too.
Yeah,
But
was one of
yes,
them a
we've got 'em.
very adult trailer for Divinity?
It was not.
That's
That
not one
was
of the ones you were asking for?
no, but I was very into that. That definitely took me. That surprised me. You know what it is though. People kind of figured out what the mysterious. Did you hear about the publicity thing with this mysterious statue in the desert that was like out there for like
Oh, yes. I
weeks
heard about
before or a week before?
a
Yeah,
mysterious
no one.
statue in a desert, yeah.
Yeah, in California or something.
Hmm.
Um, no one had really known what it was. Everyone was suspecting it was, maybe it was a Diablo thing, maybe it was a God of War, maybe it was a couple other games, but it come to
This is
find
the
out it wasn't.
marketing. Mysterious statue in the desert.
Yeah, it was just so weird. Like, I mean, obviously you've got like Jeff Keighley like out there being like, "Hey, look at this," and then immediately everyone's like, what the fuck is that about?" And he drummed up hype, and it turned out to be Divinity, and people figured it out by leaks of advertisement. What do you call the like trademarking of some stuff that came out like a day before the Game Awards. So people had put it together and figured it out like, oh, it's the new Divinity game. So we kind of knew it was coming, but man, the way that they presented that trailer and the way that whole thing went off, I didn't see that coming, and I did not expect it to be as
Adult.
as mature as they
as mature themed.
yeah, they're putting that on a big screen in front of all those people, and also it's just lots of people around the world watching. I was like, okay, this is extreme, and that's interesting, but it looked great. But that was not one of the games I was hoping for. It was shit, I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I should have. I have not. I don't know.
What did you think about the game that they gave Game of the Year to at that award show?
Oh boy. Well, you know. I mean, I am in love with that game.
Yeah,
And
in love with it.
Clair Obscur?
Yes.
Yes.
To be
Yeah.
clear, yes, for anyone listening.
To be clear, yeah.
To be clear.
um, I love that game so much. It is definitely one of my favorite games in a very, very long time ever made. It is
Wow.
just captivated by that game. I have nothing but amazing things to say about it. I mean, I, I remember catching a Xbox like developer direct type like a little showcase thing, right? And that game
Yeah.
popped up in it, and no one knew at the time what that was going to end up being, what it was really going to truly end up doing. But I remember seeing it and being like, "Whoa, this is totally up my fucking alley. Whatever this is, this brand new team out of
Yeah.
nowhere
Out
with
of
this
nowhere.
fucking yeah,
Out of what
and
country?
out of France.
Okay.
Duh.
No, I did not know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a
Well, yeah.
suspicion, but I did not know the answer to that question. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sandfall. So, Sandfall Interactive, just out of nowhere, the publishing company kind of had some reputation beforehand for releasing some cool stuff. But yes, yeah, dude, just pop it. As soon as it came onto the screen, I was like, oh boy, what is this? Soon as I see like turn-based combat, like stylish persona-like,
Yeah. Persona
menus
is
and
definitely something that came to mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, immediately I'm like, I mean, I love Persona. We should get into that too at some point.
Yeah, that Persona
Um,
is good. I played 4 for a very short amount of time, and I don't know if it was just not the right time for me to be playing an RPG. I don't know. I was not grabbed by Persona, so we can, you can convince me to play some Persona games. I don't know if I've been very turn-based. I don't know if I'm not a very turn-based kind of guy for a while. I've not been.
I think that's what is so alluring about Clair Obscur to me, and
Okay.
why it like. But I will say there was a game that before this that really made me just love turn-based games again. I was out of them too for quite some time.
Okay. What made you love
And
them?
a
I don't
game
mean to interrupt
called
you, or yeah.
a game called Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, okay.
I fucking love that game. That is another game that I would easily put in my, top, best games of the generation of
We're
the
getting
past
there.
decade.
That's our goal
Yeah.
here, but
Yeah. Yakuza Like a Dragon, because what it did was it turned the corner for the entire series, and it just took a huge risk, and it said, fuck it. We're going to try something new. We're going to do turn-based combat. We're going to have all these jobs for all your characters, all these job systems and stuff, all these synergies and integrated, moves, and also kind of adopting Persona stylish, imagery and just that kind of like uh what do you like just the art direction and the presentation. And Yakuza Like a Dragon is like it's a hell of a great game. It has such a great story to it. It's so well written. It's full of just heart and soul and laughs and great boss designs and enemies, and it's got all of the charm and the character of a Yakuza game, but reinvented with a fresh
yeah.
take on it, a fresh character, and then you have the whole new combat system, and it dabbles into the Mario RPG or Paper
Right.
Mario
Okay, yeah. I mean,
/ Final Fantasy. Yeah,
that's I felt like a very rude person when I compared Clair Obscur to Super Mario RPG. But
I don't
am
think
I
that's a
allowed to
rude
say
take.
that? Is that something is that
No,
allowed? Am I allowed to say that?
I think you are so allowed to say that. I
Okay,
think
good. I'm
that's
glad
like
because you like it so much, you can give me that permission.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I think it's a selling point in a
Yeah,
way
okay, good.
because
Good. Okay, good.
well, I don't think we get anything like that anymore, and that's what kind of is special is that you can tell that Clair Obscur was a game made by people who fucking love games, who have
Yeah,
a passion. You know what I
good.
mean? It's a
I mean,
genuine. It's so genuine.
that's one of the best things you can say about a game. That's like the list
Exactly.
of games that are on that we're going to get to that might be my top whatever. I think that's a very important aspect. The act of creating these games is by people that love like what they're doing.
Exactly. They're not here to make a buck or I mean it's
I
business.
mean,
I
ultimately,
understand.
you know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
there's a different there's the type of PS3 shovelware Wii era stuff that we
But
kind of talk like people just pumping out garbage, and then there's games as an art form like fucking Elden Ring
yeah.
and Death Stranding.
Yeah, and I think those are kind of in their own category too of game best of all times and have reasons but Clair Obscur is just like the story behind its its conception and it's just everything about it is so impressive to me and so like just I feel for it. You can feel how genuine and how you can every moment you can feel how much it meant to them to create this game, that they poured their heart and soul into making something like this and were just they weren't going to care whether or not it was going to do what it did. No one a year ago or maybe it was about to come out in April of last year, so it's still a few months away, but when everyone saw that trailer they were like, I think there were certain people like myself that saw something were like, this is about to be some shit. Like for me, this
Yeah.
might be a thing that only I like. And that's what I thought it was going to be. I'm like, this is going to be a game that I'm going to adore and no one's going to give a fuck about. And then come to find
I know
out
that. So, yeah, I know that exact feeling. Sometimes I see a
yeah,
trailer and I'm like, "Oh man, no one's gonna talk to me about this," but I'm gonna.
yeah, yeah. I really strongly felt that way. I think there were two or three other people that I knew that are like me who are like really into games that really, delve into, following news, watching trailers, watching the stuff and caught that and were like, "Whoa, this is going to be special." But how it's going to be one of those it's going to be a special to me only thing. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks after Clair Obscur came out, I was like blown the fuck away at how much attention and how also playing it for 3 weeks, knowing what it was and how it ended up just being such a incredible masterpiece of a game. I was just like, I'm so happy for these people. Like watching interviews with them, like I said, their backstory of how they became a studio. These were just some Ubisoft devs who were working at Ubisoft and were bored and hated what they were doing there. They,
Oh,
that's how this began.
wow!
That they,
Wow! I there's something about that. I like that.
yeah, it's just that's the thing. Like there's a story. The story of how this game came to life is so fascinating, along with the actual game that they made.
People sick
That
of
is
Ubi.
just yeah. It's emotional. There's such a connection I have to it because
Hey, Budu,
I love it. Yeah,
do you think that Expedition 33 needs a goddamn minimap?
I do think it. I do think it could use a mini map. Yeah,
There
I
you
don't think
go.
it's.
There you
I
go.
think. I think that
From
that's the
the
one
expert.
criticism. Yeah, I think that's a fair criticism. Um, I have impressively watched people though speed run that game and recently at AGDQ and was blown away at the fact that they knew the exact routes to go because it's very easy to get
Man,
lost in that game. Um,
yeah, I
but
what was
once
I
you
was
start,
doing something and I missed that. I don't know if it was
yeah,
on late anyway, but yeah,
I think once you start
I can still
treading
see it.
some
It's
of
on
the
YouTube.
areas, you get familiarized with where you're headed, but it is very difficult to know sometimes which direction you're heading. I will say there at least need to be a compass
Are
of
there
some sort.
some are the environments a little Final Fantasy samey in that kind of Final Fantasy way that you're kind of like, oh, it's another room full of glowing trees, kind of? Do you get that kind of feeling of lost amongst the
No,
crystals or whatever?
well, I think there are parts that are sometimes channeling that a bit,
I mean, that's hard to
but
avoid. That's just
yeah,
something that's like
it's it's
in
more
the nature of
linear
video games.
and sometimes I think it's more linear at times
Yeah,
and
actually,
than that,
yeah.
and so that can be strength and weakness, because like I said, you're in a linear kind of like area, and there's a crossroad, and they all kind of do look a little bit of the
Yeah.
same,
Okay.
and
I
you're like, wait,
recall this. Yeah.
did I come from that way, or did I? And so now you're running back through the door to find out, the last exit, to find out, oh, that's okay, that's where I came from. So I did have some periods of that game, and it seems like it's mostly early on. It's when you get into the later parts that it opens up a little bit. I would not
Okay.
even later, but like maybe like a quarter of the way through, it starts to open up a lot more. And what's funny is I watched I backseated with another person playing this game. I can name them, but I don't know. Maybe it's just better to not. I guess I don't know. It's somebody we know, but it was fun to watch them play this. But I did watch them struggle with that a little bit, because
Okay.
in the early bits, because it is that forest, that red forest in the beginning. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about specifically. Yeah, it is. It is a bit. It's not a very long part, but it does kind of get you a little spun, and you end up, walking back and through. I did experience a little bit of that myself. Not to the point. I think I was so locked in by what it was doing. Like, I was so invested in like this story,
Yeah.
that's so creative, and these characters and the art and everything, and the controls and the combat system, that I was like, I'm not giving up on this, even if it's a little frustrating here with this
It
and
did
that. But
feel like in those early areas, though, the way it was so linear almost
mhm.
made me, yeah, it made me not even really worry about exactly where the map or where I was or anything, because I got into a feeling that, and I don't even know if, I'm not saying anything positive or negative, but it almost like I felt discouraged from like looking around or checking in the corners or anything, because it did really feel like there was a straight line to like the next guy to talk to, the next place,
Mhm.
and I was just kind of cruising through the early parts of the game. So I like, and that's a sort of,
There's
there's a cinematic aspect to the way it's presented like that. It's not necessarily, railroady, but I didn't, yeah, it's a little, I don't know. It's a little, it's definitely doing a specific thing, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but yeah, I can see, yeah, all of that
there's
and feeling that
little
way.
little interconnected loops that basically bring you back around to like the
Sure.
main path a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
there's little hidden battles,
Okay. I
and
can see
hidden
getting stoned
encounters.
and be going around in loops and getting
Oh
lost.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
definitely feeling really great while playing that game a lot of
Yeah.
the time.
Well,
And
that's
I
awesome.
and
It's
and,
good.
and I
That's awesome. Awesome to feel great.
I'm feeling great on things. And I'm impressed that I was able, that with some of those routing and pathing areas. And that's the thing, I do call out a lot of games for having shitty routing and pathing at times. Um,
Sure. That's a great thing to call games out for. I love doing it all the time. I'm
yeah,
always fucking screaming about that shit.
yeah.
Pissed
I don't.
off.
I think
Where the
Clair
fuck am I
Obscur's.
going? Where did I come from?
I think it's one of the only weak points to the game,
I
but
need a
it's
bunch of
it's
dots like goddamn Pac-Man disappearing.
yeah. I kind of liked that it drew me into this.
Very
Just this.
convenient in Death Stranding, a line of dots, just like
Yeah.
Pac-Man. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Completely sorry.
No, I don't like having a waypoint on the screen as much as I used to anymore. Like, go here, do this. I kind of like that Clair Obscur let me, just
Sure.
embrace and
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah, no,
soak
but
in.
yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like it's cinematic to just kind of be like, okay, I'm just gonna. There's not that many choices left or right. I'm just kind of going, but like I'm just going. Yeah.
Once you've reached a point where it's not too far in. I don't, and I'm assuming you probably played like a couple of hours of it.
I'd say a
That's
couple
usually like the
hours.
draw.
I would say between 3 and 6.
Yeah, I would say like most people seem to bounce off of it early on in the first couple hours. It does take a little while for it to really get its wheels going, but it is because it's delivering a story in a way that I miss games like this. And this game just like aimed shot right in my heart and got me. And it takes a little while, like I said, to get its legs, but once you get to like I don't want to spoil anything or anything like that, but like for those who haven't played it or and shit, but
Cover
like
years if you not played it.
yeah, I mean, um, no, I mean it's just Did you get to the major? Did you see the first big, oh shit moment, so to speak?
When Thanos comes by, is that what you're talking? Because that's like very, that's, I mean, that's, yes, that's bare, that's basic, that's like, that's before the game even happens.
There's a major there.
There's a major thing after that on the
There's
expedition.
There's a death.
Not the lady that vaporizes.
No.
Okay.
No. That's
Okay.
the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
very, very beginning of the game. So there's something. There is a
I mean, you're not going to spoil it for me, and it doesn't matter. But I mean, but anyway, okay.
Turn, yeah.
So there's a very significant. Yeah, I do not think I experienced that.
All right, cover your ears. Cover your ears.
Okay, cover your ears, everyone.
2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, Gustav dies.
Okay.
Gustav dies.
Yeah.
And you now take over Verso, and that's when the.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is the big, like, holy fuck, didn't see this coming.
Maybe I should play at least that far.
They build you, well, now you know, but
yeah,
that is not very far into the game per se. It really isn't. It's probably like maybe 6 to 8 hours in, depending on how you're exploring, how much time you're spending doing things. I mean, I took my time.
I'm spending a lot of time like smoking pipes and getting sodas and like talking to the cats also. Well, so
yeah. Well, what I love about that game too is that it does respect your time, and you don't get a lot of yappy shit going on like most RPGs can have these days, where it just goes on, and that's maybe why you might have also bounced off games like Persona quickly, because Persona gets so fucking yappy at times.
Sometimes, I don't know. Some games I will allow to yap at me just forever. Some games I'm so into the story, but if I'm not like, I don't know. And again, it's one of those things that I like to say, maybe I just wasn't the right day. I wasn't in the right mood, but like I have to be so into the story immediately, or else I just don't want to listen to any dialogue. I just want to play. Sometimes I'm like, just let me fucking play.
Yeah. That's right. I was trying to play something the other night, and I was kind of in that same kind of mood. It just
sometimes it's just
I had been mentally preparing, for Clair Obscur. You knew what you were gonna get, because I went in there going like, let me see if I like it. I want to see if I like the combat, and like I spent so much time kind of sort of engaging with the story, but I feel like I wasn't again. And this is a way I approach a game sometimes, where I'm like impatient with it and I don't want to get into the story right away. I don't know if I'm committed to it, and then I'm approaching the game without an open heart. Exactly. And this was a game
I approach a lot of things without an open heart. I'm working on it.
This game was just, I was anticipating it. Like, this was one of my most anticipated, of last year for sure. Waiting months, counting down the days. I could not fucking wait to play that game, because as the trailers were starting to come forward, I'm just like, I knew the basic storyline of what, about this, paintress that is, showing up every year and writing a number and wiping out everybody that age, but they go on this expedition to try to stop her. It's got it's very Matrixy in my opinion.
Yeah.
Man, it just reminds me of that kind of like story, of heroes and grief and how to deal with it and how things change and the mysteries and the things and the realities and the truths that come to life over the time. You think it's one thing, but it's a whole nother thing,
Okay.
When you find out what the truth is, and it puts a lot of things into perspective, and it gets really it digs into you.
I guess I gotta play this stupid game.
It just reminds me so much of how I was like blown away by a piece of media, like when I first saw The Matrix, when I was young.
Okay.
I was just like, this is incredible. Like it's the full package, from the the design of the game itself to the story to the fucking music.
The title of this episode of the podcast is going to be called Clair Obscur is Good, actually.
Yes. Well, I know. I heard you. I think I heard you talk to Sane about this briefly in your last one. I did listen over to it, and I was like, I'm not. I have feelings, but I know. I understand why.
I very openly did not give it enough of a chance, and I'm going to. I was very honest.
Yeah.
I said
I
that.
don't think you were irrational, dude.
Do you think that it's okay to say that for people that wish they were still making 1990s Final Fantasy games, this was just the perfect. This is what this is
I was
for?
gonna comment on that.
That's
Yeah, I was
who
gonna
this
say.
is. Is it a 1990s Final Fantasy game?
I think that it has some of that DNA in it, but it is its own beast in its own. It deserves to be.
Considers as its
You can
own.
tell that it's an influence. You know what I mean? You can tell
Sure.
that Final Fantasy VIII, and they've admitted that.
I
You
mean,
know
I think
that.
by the aesthetic, even.
Yeah, I would say yeah. Some of
I
the
mean, not
yeah.
totally, not in a bitingly kind of
I
way.
think
Not wow, that's a
there
weird
was a
bitingly.
oh
Is that an
yeah.
adverb?
Maybe yes.
I-
It felt like there was a lot of discussion around the game having this, JRPG influence to it, and there was, what makes a JRPG a JRPG, and it's like, well, it's
okay.
not a JRPG because it wasn't made in Japan, and it's
It's a
not,
FRPG, a
so
frip,
yeah, yeah, I think it's
a
a.
frap.
However, it's certainly, they are not shy about admitting that they've always wanted to make a game of games that they loved, So Final Fantasy VIII and X are big ones that come up to them that
Totally.
were in their minds when they were designing this game. But yeah, I would say you're right. In that it's art and it's still like it just exudes its own universe. It's so creative in its own thing, but it's definitely got the DNA of like a Final Fantasy game somewhere in there. Does it feel like a older Final Fantasy game? I think there's a lot that they pop in there to make it fresh. It's almost like Sekiro meets Final Fantasy. Yeah, meets like there was another game I was thinking of, but the parrying system, the
Okay.
parrying
Yeah.
and the
Sekiro
parrying
loves
is
parrying.
yeah, so you're really getting that is a huge I thought like a huge point of the combat that I absolutely adore is that brings in a Mario RPG. So
For
basically
sure. Yeah,
Sekiro,
totally.
it's like Sekiro, Final Fantasy 8 and a Mario RPG had a baby.
Okay.
And a French baby. And dude, the music is just astounding in that game. So the sound design and music, it's just like yeah. That's what it is. That's what I was telling people when it came out. I'm like, this is basically what this game is. If you're into this kind of stuff, you like the idea of having like interactive turn-based combat, where you're still choosing to you're casting spells, you're pressing buttons on the screen in sequence, or you're timing your parries in a perfect time frame and you're dodging and shit like that. There's so many little nuanced things though that come along with that, with the Pictos system and the Luminas, and how you build you can make your own
This
build, and
all
there's so much
seemed
flexibility and
very
custom.
Final Fantasy 8 and 10 kind of
Yeah, yeah.
patchworky
But it's like
magic little things that
mm,
boost spells in different ways or allow you to cast by doing with a big grid of things that interact with each other. And I'm doing a real bad
it's the
job of
synergy.
that's a very yeah.
It's highly synergistic. You
That's my
start to
take on
like
what Final
see.
Fantasy 8 and 10 are like. All those things I just said.
Yeah, and it's just amazing because like once you get somebody like Ciel in your party, you're like, oh, okay, this is probably just going to be another X whatever spellcaster, and then you realize like she has this really dynamic um tarot card system that is light and dark, and so she has her own
Yeah.
little thing going on that makes her fresh and new, and you start to you kind of I almost wrote her off for a while and was kept using just Lune, Verso, and Mael, who Mael is just like, oh, she's so much fun to play. There's no reason to not have her in her party. She's an absolute beast. She has such so many fun techniques to use. You know, her virtuo stance. It's just they want you to feel awesome playing that game, and that's what there's never not a moment where I was playing it where I was not just giggling because I'm landing the perfect parry, and it's just huge fucking, explosion back, and it does this massive damage, and then I'm comboing and chaining, and I'm calculating, okay, I have this much AP, I can do this with her, I'm gonna cast this on her, she's gonna be able to go into virtuoso stance next turn. I'm predicting all my turns out and watching it unfold, and there's room for error and there's unpredictability with these bosses, but you start to learn telegraphs and patterns, like a Sekiro, where you start to learn what these enemies and bosses, what their telegraph signs of what they're doing next, so that you can parry or dodge, and now you're like, okay, if I play this Picto, I'm going to gain an AP every time I make a successful dodge, so I can start to build AP to do other things. And now I'm using Lune to set her on fire, so that when Mael attacks, she does boost damage on flaming enemies. It's just all the pieces come together in an immaculate way, and it makes me it sends me into overdrive, dude. It is like, we don't see games being made like this very much anymore. It's sad to say. I think we will now. I think we're going to now that,
Yeah, do you think we're going to see 15 of these over the next 3 years?
I'm afraid that yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's guaranteed. That's how things work. That's what's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get saturated. I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it still becomes its own. But because even the last time, people have been saying for years now why people have hated on turn-based games for a good while now, and there's been a lack of them. But then games like Baldur's Gate 3 come out, turn-based, and win Game of the Year too, and everyone's like, I mean, hey, look at BG3. That's a turn-based game. It's winning Game of the Year. People want these things, guys, So yeah, the music has in Clair Obscur. I mean, I could go on and on about every single aspect of this game. And the
It sounds probably, like
it. Yeah. I can gush. I could do I could talk about it for hours and just one thing after the next. And but one thing that I did, I'm a sucker for is a great soundtrack, and that game just brings me to tears when I hear the music. When I hear certain keys being played, certain motifs from that game, I immediately get my eyes get wet. I can't. I'm even thinking about it right now. I get emotional about it. It just hit me, man.
Yeah, I got a couple games on this list that make me feel that way too.
Yeah,
music is an important part.
It is such a well-made soundtrack.
It really fucking is. Holy shit.
And let me tell you, dude.
I say after listening to the first 2 tracks that played during Death Stranding, holy fuck. Please go ahead.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ. Blow my fucking brains out. Sorry for using such a crude expression.
Oh, but I'm with you.
Dude, I can't. What am I doing? Why did I start Death Stranding again? Jesus.
It is so emotionally touching, and the music is so powerful in games like that.
It's so correct. Exactly how is it the right music for that game?
Yeah,
it wasn't written for that game. It got
me choked up a couple of moments.
Oh man, I can't wait for that shit.
He chooses to sometimes you get these moments where you hit a vista or
God, the best moments in the game, I swear to God, are
you're running and the camera.
Here, let's listen to one of Hideo's favorite songs now. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. And the camera pans out, and now you're just like,
how does it work so well?
Run across, and Low Roar's voice or something is just like touching in a way, and the sound of those like strings, you're just like, oh my god, like you just pulled me out of the fucking game.
Can barely be described as a video game. Like, how can you talk about? How can you describe what you are saying as a video game? I don't mean to fucking glaze Death Stranding forever, but that is a fucking experience. That is a cinematic experience that you are having. That game, nothing is like Death Stranding.
You're gonna love it.
Oh my
Nothing. And
god.
I was so, you know what's funny is that
And
back
Death
to Death
Stranding isn't
Stranding
even
again.
#1.
Death Stranding, you know, it took people a long time to come around to that fucking game. Do you remember when that game came out and how like it got fucking panned for being an Amazon delivery simulator guy and
Yes.
people hated that for some reason?
I basically
It was so weird.
recall a bunch of the type of people I would describe as chuds saying, "Oh yeah, AAA walking simulator game." But these were
Yeah, walking sim.
people that would never play it and did never play it. But that was the automatic insult. I wish I had another example of
It
that kind of thing, but that was the thing. They were like, so it's like you like walk to a place and deliver stuff. That's the argument. That's what everyone and it was that was supposed to be a joke. People thought that was funny to say that.
yeah, and I think it was I don't think it was properly assessed at the time, especially in like reviews and stuff. It was, you know, hey, this is cool, but I'm like, no, this game like changed my life, dude.
It's
You
like
know, like it
it drove
had
me in. Please continue. If it changed your life, you
no,
should be the one to
oh,
finish your thought.
I have many, yeah, I can just
Yeah.
think and
No,
go.
I
But
mean,
I thought you
yeah.
had something coming out there. I'm like, I'm just gonna let
Well,
him go on that one.
but it was like a mess. I don't know. First, it in some way, maybe I'll dig into this, but it reminded me of the reaction to um the Phantom Menace, where people went around pretending they had liked it. But this, which drove me insane, but
Yeah.
the Death Stranding thing drove me insane because it was like, it was almost like I was being it was like people would bait you into defending it, and these people just
Yeah.
they had read an article where that made it sound boring, and so they would say, and I'm not even gonna, I had one, not even an argument, I had one anyway, a completely different argument against Death Stranding, other than the one which is it's boring and it's a walking simulator and it's about delivery. But I would say like, well, no, there's like other stuff to do. Like any video, you collect stuff, you shoot guns and stuff, you do things, and people would like, I would feel like an asshole having to say there are gameplay elements in it. Like and people would like look at me like it turned into a weird like I didn't like there was a weird hallucination going on where people were trying to tell me nothing happens in the game, and I was like, no, things do happen. Right?
I think people lacked the ability to embrace and find something in that the deep I know this is whatever. I'm gonna get all like deep philosophical, you know, Kojima is my fucking hero, like whatever about it. But like, it's just it doesn't need every game doesn't need to be a video game video game, right? We have plenty of those.
Right, yeah, that might be
and I love those
that
too.
might be a huge like part of the whole point of Death Stranding, that not every video game has to be a video game.
And I know that Hideo had, you know, prefaced the game in saying, every game's a shooter game now. I don't want to make that. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to go against the grain here with this and do something unique and different, because that's what I do. I'm a creator and I like to do those things. And so I don't know if that like rubbed people the wrong way. Like
I think from the start, I think even like the first trailers, people were going, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Oh, well, of course his batshit stuff, you know, is always a topic of discussion of like, his shit's so convoluted, it's da 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 da, and it.
But I remember like even like before there was like the trailer that was released, and then there was a little bit of gameplay footage, and even in the very beginning, people were saying like, how is this going to be a game? He's doing nothing. Because the gameplay footage was just him walking along and maybe going up a ladder and stuff. But immediately, people were like, this is not even a game. This is, what is this? Immediately people were pissed off.
Well, and you know what the problem is that as well as that people gave that game a shot, but they only gave it the first hour or two, you know, if that. and you cannot judge that game by, I mean, you can, but
Well,
I think
first
it's
of all, the first hour
unfair.
of it is a fucking movie. First of all,
Okay, yeah, and that's
one of and
yeah.
that might be to some people. And in fact, I was just saying there are times when I sit down and I don't know a game. If I don't know, maybe if I wasn't hyped for this, if I didn't know about Hideo Kojima, whatever. But like, this is the exact same thing I'm talking about, where I might sit down, I might go, "What's the gameplay like? Show me the fucking gameplay. Where's the gameplay? Why do I have to watch an hour of cinematics?" Like, you have to know you're
Yeah.
sitting down for a Hideo Kojima game, and you have to watch
This
a
is
movie,
epic.
and then you
Yes.
have to like go for a walk for 5 minutes, and then you're gonna watch another movie. Like, the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, by the way, is like 3 whole movies. It's like 6 hours. You finish the game in 6 hours of 3 different movies plays.
I love it. I was talking about that recently.
It's got to be at least 3 or 4 hours. Like, it just plays. It just keeps going.
Right. It was
a legend. To be clear, Hideo Kojima is a fucking legend. What's OD? What the fuck is OD?
OD. Yeah, maybe stands for overdose, I think, but a horror game that he is making in partnership with Jordan Peele.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that is being funded by Xbox.
Okay.
And is supposedly using some form of their cloud services as well. I don't think it's going to be an online game like multiplayer or anything like that. I think it's just going to utilize some form of cloud storage to process a game that's going to have like hyper realistic like experiences.
Like acting, okay, yeah, scary.
Yes,
people screaming at you in the darkness.
So I think it's going to be a very he you know what's funny is that he recently was like, I don't even know if this game's gonna ever actually gonna see come out. He's been not like heavy doubt, but he's just like, I'm still figuring out what OD is.
Okay.
And that was recently, so I was like, that might be a bad. That might not. Maybe we don't get that game. But he has been trying to make a fucking horror game since obviously PT, and PT didn't happen, which was supposed to be Silent Hills, which didn't happen.
Right.
And so he's really wanted to make something horror. He is working on OD. It's still happening. It's not canceled. It's just that you know him. He says things.
Yeah, he does.
And it's very cryptic.
He says lots of things.
Yeah, he never gives you the straight shot. He's always just like, I'm a busy man and I'm doing a lot of things and I have a lot of ideas and I want to do things.
Man, I better follow him on my new Instagram account.
Yeah, follow him.
I used to follow him. He was my favorite Instagram follow, and I totally, I'm slowly remembering who I used to follow.
He's really good. He's really good nowadays with keeping people up to date. And actually, you know what? He's just fun to follow, to listen to him talk about.
Hideo Kojima is an incredible. He's like one of the only celebrities that I would recommend everyone follow on Instagram because it's so much fun to see what he's fucking saying, hanging out with Margaret Qualley.
Quiet. He used to be. I love it. I love him because he's just the dude who like lived the dream of like.
Seriously,
I want to make things with my friends.
Incredible,
I want
insane,
to make awesome things with my friends, and gets to do that. And
where is Oh, please. I mean, sorry.
Oh no, I was just raving about how he has. I admire his him being a guy who just gets to like do what he wants to do. Everyone gives him the time and the money usually to make what he wants to make. I mean, now he has his own studio, so it's a lot easier, but he's still getting money from Sony to do these things more or less. They're producing, they're backing it. But and then he gets to go online and and just be a fanboy of all of his friends and all of his favorite things. And he's such an interesting follow outside of the video game aspect because he talks about shows like Pluribus and how much he admires it. I was loving listening to him talk about it week to week and sharing his thoughts.
He likes everything that I think is cool. That's why he's a good.
He brings great recommendations. He goes out to the movies.
I'm fucking straight up. Where is Junji Ito in all of this? Does Junji Ito have nothing to do with OD? What's he?
I don't think so.
When is Junji Ito and Kojima going to do something together? Like officially?
I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at my, on my shelf here of my Hideo Kojima biography, of the Gene what is it? The whatever gene. My books here.
The
The
whatever
creative
gene.
gene.
Oh,
The
the
creative
okay.
gene. The creative gene next to Junji Ito, Uzumaki's and a bunch of other collections, of his stuff. So if there were two people that I could ask for to be working together on something, it would be those two. That's for sure. Literally, I'm like I said, I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. These books are sitting next to each other because
I thought that there was
I'm.
some. I thought there was some rumbling that they may do something collaborative.
I think he has always. They have a lot of respect for each other, and I think
Yeah.
there's a chance that that can happen. I think there might, maybe, perhaps he seems much busier than he used to be because he's, you know, got multiple games ideas in the pipeline. There's a Death Stranding anime coming out. There's other Death Stranding things. Like he's turned Death Stranding into a property, like
Yeah.
in a universe.
Yeah.
And
People were like, "What the fuck is this? How is this even a game?"
yeah,
People are still
it's a
kind of like that, but that really, when that game came out, there was a weird vibe around what the fuck is this?
dude. Even I,
Were people was there some kind of, were people mad at him about Konami? Was there like some kind of Konami loyalist like contingency? People were like, people were not, I recall people not liking this game. Yeah.
I do too. And I talk about it now. And it's like people don't remember that. And I'm like, I remember like fighting people, like defending this game so hard because I'm like, you guys, everyone who would talk to me about it, I'm like, you just don't get it. You're not giving it the proper go. And even fans of his, like,
it really is a very specific vibe. I mean, it really is a very specific vibe, Death Stranding.
I'm disappointed in people still that I know that are friends that are fans of his games that have not played through Death Stranding 1. And I still give people shit about that. I'm like, I do. I will give you shit. If you're a friend of mine and I know you and you like Metal Gear or you like anything that he has done, which is basically just Metal Gear and Death Stranding amongst a couple other little titles like Boktai and Police, Police Knots and stuff like that. Some of his early stuff.
The super obscure.
The super obscure stuff that, only like, diehard fans are really into. But, the stuff that he's known for, I still will express my disappointment in you if you have not played this game yet. Because not only that, but there is a great version of it out. There's a great director's cut version.
They removed the Monster Energy drinks.
What's funny is when I went back to play it again before 2, I noticed that, and I didn't realize that was a thing. And then I was like, wait, what happened to Monster? And they took it out because I was playing. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that was just a funny thing, a little funny quirk to me that I thought I was having the what do you call it, like amnesia or whatever or something about it, or
the Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. Yeah, I was like
the cornucopia.
I was like, weren't they Monster? What happened? And I had to ask somebody, and they were like, oh yeah, they took it out, or I looked it up or something. And I was like, I swear I'm not crazy, right? But I'm just saying there's no reason you shouldn't play this game, honestly, if you want to experience something that is unlike any game ever, that has such a incredible meaning once you get to the climax.
Unlike any game ever.
Yeah. Once you unravel all of its threads or strands, so to speak, and you understand what a strand game is, and what his goal was, and just how it also has yet again impressively called out the world for where it was headed, especially
and where it
when
is
it
now.
Came out. Yeah, and where it is now, dude. The pandemic and how that happened, like shortly after that game came out.
That game came out in the fall of 2019.
It was right at the same time. He had been making.
He had been making it for 3 years.
And then the pandemic happens. Like, what are the chances, dude? How?
It was so weird, and I played that game when it came out on PC, which was a year later. Not even a year later, but it was it was probably June of 2020. Full lockdown. Now, here I am with Death Stranding. Everyone's making fun of me for playing a fucking walking simulator.
a walking
We're
sim
hanging out on
about
Warcraft Classic with a bunch of assholes. Dude, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make an effort to stop referring to groups of friends that I don't see too much anymore as a bunch of uncultured assholes. Whenever I talk about any group, and whenever I talk about any gaming party, and obviously I'm I game with you and I game with my the role playing people and everyone on the server here and stuff, but yeah, you are all gonna hear me. Other people that I used to play games with, Jesus, what a bunch of assholes.
I think we were a bunch of assholes at one point, for sure.
I'm an asshole. So, like, when I look back at the people I hang out with, I'm like, we were a bunch of assholes making fun of Death Stranding. Hey, Budu.
But I was literally so mad about people being mad about hating on Death Stranding. I was mad, and I was just gonna say it's just funny now because now we love Death Stranding.
It's like fucking Evangelion. People do love it.
Now suddenly everyone thinks it's great. I remember the reviews for the director's cut coming out and it being like 9s and 10s, and I'm like, it's the same game more or less. What was the difference when you guys were giving it 6s and 7s? Which is not bad. It's average, but this game is above average. This game is a one of a kind. It is a life-changing experience if you can invest into it and get past.
You gotta be ready to watch a 60-hour movie that you're barely gonna interact with.
It's just that when you start to see all the systems come to life.
Yeah. Oh my God. Once it starts, it takes so long. It's like it's the longest bird of fucking getting it. Oh my God. And I hate it when people recommend something like this, but you just have to. You got to engage with it until you're in it.
But there's so many layers to that I appreciate because
we were so lucky to come into this as Kojima fans and know it was going to be good no matter what. Imagine knowing nothing about this fucking game and having to play it.
Well, I was very concerned because, I remember the previews happening and people being like, yeah, this is like fucking weird. Like even for him, we weren't doing very much, but we were running around this giant world and we had ladders and we were trying to, trying to survive.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
And then then you start to see though, like how he made terrain an enemy in this game and how it's like, it's dude, it's blood pumping and like
realist ass terrain. I'm saying that the realest ass terrain I've ever experienced as far as traversing just fucking terrain. As far as what actually walking somewhere is actually like.
It's so rewarding because after 20 hours,
I might add that I was unable to walk when this game came out.
Oh wow! Oh my god! Oh wow! So that's
dude,
like some more emotional depth into it for you.
God, this game. Yeah, I often forget that part of it. Oh my god!
And then you're like, and then I bet you're thinking to yourself, God, if I could just have Kojima's robo legs right now, if I could have Sam's fucking robo delivery legs that will let me run. The progression is so slow but so perfect because you're earning every little thing, and then you get to 30 hours in, you get to fucking start zip lining across mountaintops.
Dude, this is like fucking incredible. Oh my god!
You fight for every little bit.
I think one of the
one man. It's just. It's to me it's just like that one man story of one man is going to save the world. He's going to have to it's insurmountable odds. Everyone's working against him. You know what I mean?
Everyone you can see is working against you
for the most part, but like you're the attachment,
you're not alone. You're not one man.
But you have to make connections. You are responsible for reconnecting the network across the United States that's going to save,
there are humanity. Others on the journey with you.
It is, it's so brilliant. Yeah, and some of them are interesting characters that you just don't know where they're going to go with you. And you build these deep relationships. And I think I also have a lot of feelings about, Mama and other characters in that game.
That's I do too, but I'm referring to the players. I'm referring to the other players. Mm-hmm. I'm referring to the stranding nature.
You're talking about the stranding, yes.
Yes.
When you start to realize that, I remember my first moment of
people have worn paths. That people have been here.
Oh my god. This bridge is here because somebody else put this fucking bridge here, and now I can get across this stream that I probably would have not been able to get across. This person has a zip line here that I can connect another zip line to, that I can make.
Rebuild the
like
network
the
together.
Connections. It's the
this is the thing. The other not argument. The other disagreement. I couldn't believe. I don't even know how the conversation. Let's not even get into it. I would love you to continue, but I had I had to talk to somebody who hated that this was part of the game. They hated these stupid connections and they thought it was so dumb that there were other asynchronous players. They thought this pissed them off, this aspect of the game. And I was like,
wow,
what the fuck? I just recorded somewhere, but we don't need to get into it. Huh?
We had never really seen anything like it before.
No,
either.
It's crazy.
Well,
you
know, summoning somebody in Dark Souls.
That's right. That's yeah. Well, is Elden Ring a Strand game?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Elden Ring is everything about Elden Ring is the fact that there are others on this journey with me. That this is all happening.
I think
Elden Ring is 100%
because they're leaving
game.
Notes.
Yeah,
even if it's full trolling at times,
and in a totally different way. And I feel like probably Night Rain. And I don't mean to totally go somewhere else. I'm just going to say that I don't like the way the partying works in Elden Ring and Dark Souls. I think all of that stuff is so haphazard. I wish I could just be in a party with my friends. I know you can mod it on the PC, but
oh, dude.
But I do think that the stupid way it works with the fingers or the soaps or whatever, and summoning and needing items to summon and getting your friend, and then when they die, you have to summon them again. So annoying, but that is somehow part of the Stranding experience. It's that making a connection is hard. Keeping a connection is hard. I'm so annoyed by it. Death Stranding handles it better and is more Strandy, but yeah,
I agree with you.
This is part of why both those games hit.
I think there's a time where they should consider making cooperative play a little bit more streamlined, but I don't.
Which is maybe what Night Rain is. Well, Night Rain is a different game, though. It's a different game. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, so. Night Rain is their answer. It's like, oh, you want to co-op like Souls? Well, here you go, but it's on fucking speed, and the pacing is just completely different. It's just it's a rush down. It's a boss rush, basically, in a shrinking circle world a la Fortnite
roguelike experience.
Roguey.
Yep.
But some people just want to fucking play.
That's fine. Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that but I just they want to uphold that whole thing that they that whole theory. I think that
the asynchronous, and I do think the asynchronous aspect of it, and knowing just seeing the ghosts of people walk past you and knowing that they're nearby, and
they only want you to feel like you're still separated from them, and your journey is your journey, and that you are alone. In a way, but you are not alone in that other people are experiencing it too. They are just on their own experience. However, they are capable of communicating to you in ways and saying, "Hey, I've been here before. Don't do that."
I love the messages. I love it when
I do too.
I love it when something clicks or something's funny about the stupid little. I love the broken English. You need to finger butthole leave people.
I think
messages about.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh the whole humor. There's.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Humor, I love that type of. I love the sort of It
has its own.
That is Stranding. That is fucking Stranding. Yeah. I mean, even back to. Stranding. Yeah. Even back to I can't believe I'm about to mention World of Warcraft because it has nothing to do with this. It's not a good game. It's not a Strand game. But the way that they made two factions not be able to use language to communicate. But you still could in little ways. Like, I thought that was so brilliant. And the way that, when a game doesn't, I don't know, there is something to limiting the way that you can interact and limiting the way that you can communicate with other players and it forces you to work together in certain ways sometimes. Sometimes in World of Warcraft, you would meet a member of the opposite team and you would have to kind of do something together if you were in a difficult area, and those moments were very special in World of Warcraft. And knowing that you are not alone in Elden Ring you do get more of a chance to really see and interact with other players. But The
I was gonna
stranding
comment
aspect
on that.
of Death Stranding is, yeah.
I was gonna say in Elden Ring, it's kind of interesting because it's all over the place with where it allows you to bring in somebody with you,
Yeah.
and there are certain zones that you're like you can have somebody roll with you through the area, but then there are others that you cannot.
And
And
sometimes you
then
take a step it like 1 foot off, like past a certain bush, and your friend just vanishes because you walked out of that
yeah,
area.
I
You
think
know,
like
it's like weird
uh
temporary connectivity with another player who often is a
yeah.
complete stranger. Often you will never see again. Again, another really special thing is when you keep getting the same guy a couple times and you're doing something together and kind of hanging out for an afternoon.
What was
Great.
yeah, it was what does it keep? Something keep
One
um
early, late, like the one of the
early
first
game.
storm something
Yeah.
keep, the storm place, Stormbringer
Yes,
keep or something, where Stormvale
Yeah.
or the storm place with
It,
Godric. The first like
yeah,
big
you know which
fort.
one. That one,
Yeah. The
I
storm fort
remember
is like the
going through
first
that
big
with
one, yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of that. And then there would be just like whole other segments in between, no go. And then
Yeah.
you would have to meet up somewhere else. Like, oh, we're meeting up at this one now. But then also bosses, of course, you could always, and the bosses are right outside the door, you're able to
You
spawn
always
help.
get
Or
some
in this
guys,
one,
yeah.
you could also spirit ashes and
Which again, as soon as the boss fight's over, all those
controversial.
guys return to their spirit ashes are
Yeah.
controversial.
I think spirit ashes were very controversial, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I probably got
I think to
called a bozo
purists.
or worse words. Yeah, yeah, I definitely, yeah.
I think to purists, which was a very funny,
I
so
certainly can
silly. Like
think
give it
of
up, guy. Like
somebody in
I loved
particular
it.
calling me an asshole for using a certain.
Oh fuck that! I had like the best one in my the one that
Yeah, I
was
don't
broken
recall.
for a while. I can't
The
remember which
mimic
one it
was it the
was, but
mimic tier because
mimic
yeah,
tier. Yeah. Yep.
that thing before they patched that thing, it was absolute nonsense. It was ridiculous. It was beyond better.
I
It was
definitely
better
used
than
it.
anything in the game before they destroyed that thing when they nerfed it. Like it's
I
it's
know.
still one of the best
It's
summons.
it's still good. It's still good. Yeah. Hey, I will never shade anybody for using spirit ashes in that game. Go ahead, have
No,
fun, enjoy yourself.
absolutely not. No, I
They're
mean
there for a reason.
that would be
Yeah. I
absolutely
just thought it was funny.
antithetical to all of the shit I say all the time.
But
Yeah, do whatever you
I
fucking
thought
can. Yeah, wait, but in Elden Ring or a Souls game, do whatever the fuck you can to get through it. I don't
hell
give a
yeah.
shit. Learn how to fucking cheat.
Cheese.
I have a
Yep.
video of me fucking poisoning Malekith and just like standing on the opposite side of the arena from him until he dies.
That's fun of the
Just
game.
fuck
Use
you.
everything
I'm not
to your
doing your anime
advantage.
boss fight. I'm gonna fucking do whatever I can. That's why it's a fucking game. Yeah.
The game has so many tools for you to use, and it's so
Incredible.
punishing in its own
Hmm.
right. You deserve to get yours in too, and I think that that's what the
Absolutely.
developers always intend on. They don't want you to have to be at the mercy of being a perfectionist at parrying shit the entire. They're like, no, if you could figure out some combinations, go with it, man, and cheese the fuck out of it with some weird projectile poisoning spam or something, or
You have
whatever. Like it gives
yeah.
you agency to have fun, and
There are 5 billion things you can do at any in that game. Like it
yeah, it's
just the
endless.
ways
You know,
and I'm speaking only of combat. Like there are certain games where there's lots of things you can do and lots of adventures you can have. Elden Ring, just every type of fighting, every way you want to hurt somebody.
every class has a way you can make them broken.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's just a
Yeah,
thousand things you can do in that game. To if
and I've
as
barely scratched the surface of those too.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so we're
I've
gonna
just
do that. I'm gonna buy that on PC. If yeah, I think
yeah, I looked into it looks like this I could probably get it on Steam Deck, and it looks like the co-op mod will work on Steam Deck. It just may take some finagling
I don't really need to, and I don't
of
know if I
installing
mean,
things.
we'll see what everyone who wants to play how they feel about it. But I'm not saying we need to do this co-op mod. I mean, I might
Hmm,
complain about fingers, but
just
like, I
do
mean,
runs
we can.
or well, is it crossplay these days?
Well, I mean,
I don't think so. I
I'm
think you
sure
still
we could like find out. But we
because I
can
have it on
just
Xbox.
we can put each other in You remember how it works. You put a code, like 666 or something. I mean, I could also get it on Xbox, but I want to get it on like whoever the most people that could play, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, if we were trying to do just traditional like summoning, just
Yeah, that's what I'm
raw,
saying.
like,
If we all had it on PC, we could definitely do that. Just the traditional summoning, because you
yeah.
all put your code or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, you always have to have like some fucking furled finger, and
Yeah, that's what I hate. I
it's
hate
not
always
easy.
knowing whatever fucking item you have to summon your friend again once he dies.
You need certain stone or something. And it's not that it's impossible to come across and get those things. Like,
No,
there's some
it's
place you
not
could
crazy
go.
annoying, and it's part of the game, which is why
Yeah,
I'm saying we should engage with the game as wholly
but
as
it's just a
possible.
small annoyance.
Yeah, but I'm not
It's a small
opposed to
annoyance
modding
that you
it,
can't.
but we can talk to everyone kind
Well,
of.
the mod is interesting. It's been interesting to me because it is doing the thing that we talked about a little earlier, where you were like, I hate this, but I understand it, and
Right.
it's I hate that we can't just have seamless co-op, an option for that, and that's what the mod does. The mod
Yeah.
turns it into a seamless co-op for up to six players.
No crossplay on
Um,
Elden Ring between consoles or between console and PC.
yeah, I
So
thought so. I think you still have to be on the same
I mean,
platform,
basically,
even just to do.
I'm going to buy the game again. I would like to buy it on PC, but I would like to see kind
Okay.
of what everyone wants to do. And I don't want to put you in a position where you would have to play on the Steam Deck and not.
Yeah, I don't think my PC it's it needs help. I don't know what it needs in terms of like maintenance, but I think that it might be able to run an Elden Ring. It just something is wrong with I keep getting a lot of bad frame problems with every
Yeah.
game I play. It's terrible frame rate drops, and I'm just not sure what it's causing it. But I think it should be spec'd to play a game like that. However,
Well,
Steam Deck's I have a
yeah.
Steam Deck and it's stable.
I mean that, yeah, and if we're not modding it, or if you said it might be possible to, I mean let's. But first of all, like I said, I have no money right now.
We'll see what happens.
I owe
Oh, me
someone money
too.
for this PC. I am so behind on bills. I need to hit the road tomorrow morning. There's something I need to pay tomorrow. I'm so fucked. But anyway, at some point in a month or something, I will buy Elden Ring on PC because and also right now I'm gonna play Death Stranding and maybe Metal Gear Solid 5. But before we like wrap this up, because I think we covered a lot of the things that I did want to
We
ask you
did.
about. But I mean, I do want to put together, and I don't know if it's going to be, well, what it is going to be games that resonate with me. It's going to be games that make my eyes wet when I hear their soundtrack. Like it's not necessarily, and I'm going to tell you right now what games are on this list. This is in no
Yeah.
particular order. Some of them are in here for specific reasons, and I think like if we continue this and I get to talk to you again, maybe on Monday nights if this is agreeable to you. But I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
have
that
to
might
be
work.
this time of day. If there's a better time of day for you, like sometimes when you're up in the morning, whatever. But anyway, again, we can figure that out. But as far as, and I think we should both put together a list, and I don't know if we're going to figure out exactly, like I said, right now, these are just the games that I think are important. So Elden Ring and Death Stranding, we've talked about, and maybe we will talk about them individually more. But
Sure, I bet we will.
Undertale, which, like I have said, yeah, some of them have certain
Right.
conditions that I'm going to very briefly mention. You're no longer allowed to play Undertale if you've not played it already. Earthbound, I think, is only important to play if you were a teenager in the 90s. Uh, Night in the Woods is important, and Hypnospace Outlaw. Everyone has to play those if I was in charge. And then I sort of have a category of games that I think do really interesting things narratively, which includes Portal, maybe Portal, and maybe the Talos Principle. But those games are sort of also in a subcategory.
Mm,
But
mm.
also the Stanley
Talos, yes.
Parable and the Beginner's Guide. Do you know what the Beginner's Guide is?
Do not
This is what we're gonna
do not know what the
end
beginner's guide
on.
is.
The Beginner's Guide is a very strange little story that really, really, truly is barely a game. The point of it is that it is barely a game. It is so bizarre.
Is it kind of
In
like a visual novel?
Yes, but you are guided. You are guided through it, and it is narrated. So it is. So it is basically
I love stuff like that.
time. Yeah, it goes in the Portal Stanley category here in that there's a narrator guiding you through, a series of puzzles or events, but like there's a lot going on with it. It's very layered. It's very strange, and I don't want to say too much about it, but
The beginner's guide. Would it be? Is
beginner's
it something
guide
kind of like? Have you ever played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter or What Remains of Edith Finch? Games like that.
does
Do
a
those sound familiar?
well, does a baby drown in What Remains of Edith Finch?
There's a lot of fucked up shit in What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah, I think I was told not to engage with that one. But I've not played those. But maybe I should. Maybe if we're getting
They
into
are.
it, maybe if we're getting into it, maybe those are maybe we will figure out more things that should be on this list of things that are.
Was it the subject matter that somebody was steering you away from that?
What, Edith Finch? Yeah, people were like, you are not going to like it because you're going to think about suicide. Yeah.
It's dark. It's dark times. Yeah. It is. I mean, but I find stuff like that really powerful. I like things that explore the hard parts of our psyche. And I know that a lot of people play games to have fun. I play a lot of games that are not meant to be fun, that are meant to, explore feelings. And I love games for that too. So I love games that
I think that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing here.
So the beginner's guide sounds like something I'd be into. If that's kind of where it's along the lines of.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's the last thing I wrote down on this very brief list, which we're going to add to. But these are games. Yeah, what we're talking about here is games that are important, that I think people should engage with, that have a very high emotional impact. And I am gonna play Clair Obscur.
I really hope that you can give it a good shot, because
I'm really gonna. I feel obligated to.
Well, I don't want you to feel like, but I mean, dude, it's...
Well, I should, though. I mean, because of what we've just discussed.
Yeah, in conversation, the future of video games for me, like, that game's going to always be brought up I'm going to always bring it up. I'm always going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about that game for a very, very long time because of all the layers of awesomeness just the sheer amount of joy and everything that it brought me. I just think it's a phenomenal game, and you should experience it if you're into RPGs.
Yep.
You really should give it a shot. You really should try to get past to the point of where I was mentioning before, where it really starts to take off. Now you have a lot more questions, motivations to go upon, and you'll start to really see more of the game. The big stuff of the game is hiding behind that. The coolest bosses, the greatest storyline aspects, the best soundtrack moments, all that shit, the best construction of your combat. It's all kind of opens the fuck up, blows wide open once that moment happens. You see all, you really start to see it. So give it a good shot, man. I think you feel you have a little bit more of a roadmap and understanding of where I'm coming from with it, as somebody who's like obsessed with it.
Yeah,
that might be a little bit more inspiring now that you walk into it with a different frame of mind. And give it a good shot. And I'm always here if you need.
I played nothing but Minecraft for 1 year. I'm ready to play some video games again. You
mentioned Talos Principle, and I've been playing a lot.
Talos Principle is so good. That's important. I think. I mean, that's in the category of this list that is important because of the way it narratively engages. Like, I think it deserves awards for its narrative as well as a lot of the other things about it. I think it's really good, but. Yeah,
I love narrative shit, dude. I could go on and on about narrative games too. So, and I'm kind of more into the stuff of like Life is Strange, and those kind of narrative ones too that tell a story to you.
We talked about that. I got to check that out.
Lost Records.
Is Life is Strange a little bit more telltale-y, like you're choosing the outcome of a certain events and kind of?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. That I've been meaning to check that out for 7 years. It was 8, something like that.
Phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, that's one of my all-timers, with the music, with the feelings, the art design, the voice acting. That's another thing in Clair Obscur that's phenomenal again. That really captivated me is just that is voice acting. But yeah, Life is Strange is such a cool. You're gonna connect with it in ways because it's 2000s, feeling. It takes place, in the early
I
2000s.
like
It's
that.
got, yeah, it's very culturally connected into our generation, and it does a lot of those things really well. It speaks to those things, but it's a sci-fi, choose your own adventure ish kind of thing with a lot
Right.
of narrative driven, emotional driven choices, and you really get connected to the characters, their bonds, their relations, and also making decisions on hard decisions on things that if I do, I like this person. Do I do this to them? You know what I mean? Like you get put into
I do.
questioning your morale,
Yeah.
questioning your moral
Well, yeah, yeah,
compass,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
there's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
And that's what Clair Obscur does to you too at one point. I will not spoil that, but like
Okay.
it erupts, or it climaxes to a point where the game's ending asks you to make a very important question, and it
Oh
is all
boy.
about the game
Okay.
that you played along the way. And I love that they
Sure.
got that in there too. So I don't I will not say anything more about it. I
I'm
could
gonna,
I
yeah,
could go, but
at this point
yeah,
I'm going to play it officially, so
all right. I
yeah,
really
yeah,
appreciate that. You're gonna
yeah. I'm
fucking
gonna,
give
I
it a
swear
go,
to
man.
God, yeah,
I really think I think at the end of
yeah.
the day, you might find some enjoyment in it. You once you start to get the systems clicking and stuff, and you start getting into the combat, and you're like feeling it. You get that vibe. You just get a rush from it, dude. It's so satisfying. The sound design, everything. Oh God, again, we have to just stop talking about it
All
because I will
right.
keep going.
All right, you want to watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I'm gonna skip out on that. Go grab some food.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm
I'm
gonna
hungry.
grab
Yeah,
something
I have
before.
not eaten
Yeah.
anything today, so I'm just kind of. I actually have to.
I ate
I
a
have to go play
ton
some
of
XCOM
potatoes
2.
and bread and cheddar cheese.
I can't I can't really speak too much about it for NDA purposes, but I am doing a focus group currently on some stuff with XCOM. And
Really?
yes, but
Cool.
yeah, it's playing XCOM 2. I probably shouldn't say anything more, but
Sure.
I do need to go do my journal for that today. So
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck. That sounds neat.
yeah, it's kind of cool. I rarely get these opportunities, but like I always apply to them, and it's really hard
Yeah.
to get into them. But oh, are we offline? Are we off?
Oh, yeah. Let's stop right now. We'll talk about this again. Thank you for
No,
joining
it's
me, and we are.